Hello everyone, my name's Elspeth. You're watching the Planeswalker Pantheon. Today. We're opening up a Streets of New Capenna collector's box. Now, enough of the chat, let's get to it, shall we? Alright. Now, this is probably my favourite art design of the collector boxes that I've ever seen so far. It just looks good, and the colour is something else. It's kind of a shame to throw it out, but I wish they'd make these a little bit more suitable for storage. Alright, so we've got our box right there, and of course we have another copy of Gala Greeters, which is our promo, and of course our 12 packs of Streets. Alright. Now, I've gotten a little bit of feedback as to how I do these videos, so I'm just gonna jump straight to the good stuff. You know, I'm not even gonna bother. I'll flip through it, but I'll just jump to the good stuff. There it is. Man, I hope that's a sign of good things to come in these packs, because man, that was actually a hard one to crack open. Alright. All of our commons. God, isn't it going to look more shiny these days? We've got a beautiful full art swamp there in foil. Our old age artworks. Oh, we've got a gilded foil of Mr. Orthero, which is always nice. I actually like this old foil. Our first rare is Rabble Rousing. So for 4 and a white, we have an enchantment, Hideaway 5. Whenever you attack with 1 or more creatures, create them with 1/1 green and white creature citizen tokens. Then if you control 10 or more creatures, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. We have an extended art Tivit, Seller of Secrets. This is from the Commander deck. So for 3 and an Esper, or Obscure if you will, it's a 6/6 legendary creature, Sphinx Rogue, with flying in Ward 3, cancels Dilemma. Whenever Tevert enters the battlefield or deals combat damage to a player, starting with you, each player votes for evidence or bribery. For each evidence vote, you investigate, so you get a clue token. For each bribery vote, you create a treasure, and while voting, you may vote an additional time, so the votes will always work out in your favour. We have a Shakedown Heavy in the extended art, so for 2 and a black, you get a creature Ogre Warrior, it's a 6/4 with menace. Whenever Shakedown Heavy attacks, defending power may have you draw a card. If they do, untap the heavy and remove it from combat. Ooh, and we've actually got a full art All-Seeing Arbiter, so for 4 and 2 blue, you get a creature Avatar, it's a 5/4 with flying. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. Whenever you discard a card, target creature an opponent controls gets -X/-0 until your next turn, where X is the number of different mana values among cards in your graveyard. And we'll put, say, extended arts there. We've got a foil regular foil Golden Ages for Fiend's Tale, so this is the Esper Triome. And we've got our cat. Alright, next up. So I'm just going to read out the rares, and I'll just show anything that might be of interest. Jeez. Alright, so flick through the commons. Oh, no, full art foil planes. Obscura Charm in the Old Age, Shattered Seraph, Quasar. Our rare is a foil Zator's Envoy, so for 1 and Riveteers, we get a creature Vision Warrior, it's a 5/4 trample. When it deals combat damage to a player, look at the top card of your library. You may play a land from the top of your library, or cast a spell with mana value less than or equal to the damage dealt from the top of your library without paying its mana cost if you don't put that card in your hand. Nice and simple. We have a Grimegorger, also from the Commander decks. So for 2 black and green, you get a creature creature holds a 3/3 with menace. When it attacks, exile up to one target card for each type of exile up to one card of each card type from defending player's graveyard. Put a +1/+1 counter on Grindgorger for each card exiled this way. Black marker Tycoon. So for for red and a green, you get a 2/2 creature cat rogue. You do your upkeep, it deals 2 damage to you for each treasure you control, and you can tap to create a treasure token. We also have a Scheming Fence. So for white and a blue, you get a creature human citizen, it's a 2/3. When it enters the battlefield, you may choose a non-land permanent. Activated abilities of chosen permanent can't be activated. Scheming Fence has all activated abilities of the chosen permanent except for loyalty abilities, and may spend mana as though it would mana of any colour to activate those abilities. We've got actually I guess that's I don't know. Got a 4 Vazri Keen Negotiator. So for 2 and Riveteers again, you get a legendary creature human advisor, 3/3 with haste. Tap, target opponent creates X treasure tokens, where X is the number of treasure tokens you created this turn. Whenever an opponent casts a spell or activates an ability, if mana from a treasure is spent to cast or activate it, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, then draw a card. So she gives your opponent's resources, but they will eventually have to pay up, as they all do. And we got our treasure. Next. Alright. Got our beautiful foil island. Brazen Upstart in the Golden Age. Riveteer's Charm in the Golden Age. Foil Skybridge Towers. We have a Zerator's Prove Again. This is the Jund Triome, basically. Angelic Sleuth. So for 2 and a white, you get creature Angel Advisor. It's a 2/3 flying. Whenever another opponent leaves the battlefield, if it had counters on it, investigate. We've got a extended art regular Gallagher. So for 1 and a green, you get a creature Elf Druid. It's a 1/1 with Alliance. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control and choose one that has been chosen, put a +1/+1 counter on the greens, create a tapped treasure token, or gain 2 life. We also have a Sparrow's Headquarters in the Golden Age frame. And we have a full art Rafine's Towers, so another Triumph, but this was the Esper one. And a Fish and Spirit. Next up. Full Art Swamp, Tramway, Broker's Charm, Shattered Seraph. We have a foil Endless Detour. So for green, white, and blue, you get an instant. The owner of target spell, non-land permanent, or card in a graveyard puts it on top or bottom of their library. We have an extended art Change of Plans. So for X, 1 and blue, you get an instant. Each of X target creatures you control connive. You may have any number of them phase out. We have a extended art Reservoir Kraken. So for 2 and 2 blue, you get a creature Kraken. It's a 6/6 with Trample and Ward 2. At the beginning of each combat, if the Kraken is untapped, any opponent may tap an untapped creature they control. If they do, tap the Kraken and create a 1/1 blue fish creature token. With this creature, can't be blocked. We have the Golden Age Hostile Takeover. So this is showing Obnixilis, basically. So for 2 blue, black, and red, you get a sorcery. Up to 1 target creature has basic power and toughness 1/1 until end of turn. Up to 1 other target creature has base power and toughness 4/4 until end of turn. Then deals 3 damage to each creature. We have a foil extended art Horde Horror. And our treasure. Our token right there. Next one up. So we have stuff. Beautiful Forest. We have an etched art Nimble Arsonist. Hey, we've got a foil of Nixilis the Adversary. So for 1 black and red, you get a legendary Planeswalker Nixilis. Starts with your royalty, Casualty X. +1, each opponent loses 2 life unless they discard a card. If you control a demon or devil, you gain 2 life. -2, create a 1/1 red devil creature token with when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. And for -7, target player draws 7 cards and loses 7 life. We have a Doji Jalopy from the commander deck. So for 2 and a green, an artifact vehicle. It's a star 5 with trample. Its power is equal to the highest mana value among creatures you control. You crew it for 3, and you can scavenge it for 2 and a green. Interesting. I didn't realize I dumped scavenge in this. We have a Fight Rigging. So for 2 and a green, it's an enchantment with Hideaway 5. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Then if you control a creature with power 7 or greater, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. We have a Extended Art Spyro's Headquarters. Oh, we have an Evelyn the Covetous in the Gilded Frame as well. I've actually been playing this in Standard in like a Grixis Vampires build, which has actually been pretty good. So for 2 Hybrid Demir Black and Hybrid Rakdos, you get a legendary creature Vampire Rogue. It's a 2/5 with Flash. Whenever Evelyn the Covetous or another vampire enters the battlefield under your control, exile the top card of each player's library with a collection counter. Once each turn, you may play a card from exile with a collection counter on it if it was exiled by an ability you controlled, and you may spend mana as Azure any color to cast it. I'm sorry, I just love this Golden Age frame. I hope the camera's picking it up real well. We have our Golden Age token there. Alright, next one up. Click through all these. Foil Island, Rakish Revelers, Ligara the Magpie, Nimble Larcenist in our Golden Age form. And we have a full Evolving Door. So for 2 and a green and an artifact, 1 tap, sacrifice a creature, count the number of colours of the sacrificed creature, then search your library for a creature card that's exactly that many colours +1, exile that card, then shuffle, you may cast the exiled card, activate enemy as a sorcery. We have a Damning Verdict. So for 3 and 2 white, you get a sorcery, destroy all creatures with no counters on them. From the commander deck. We have a Getaway card, so for 3 mana, you get an artifact vehicle. It's a 4/3 with haste. When it attacks or blocks, return up to 1 target creature that crewed at this turn. You may return up to 1 target creature that crewed at this turn to its owner's hand. You can cruise for 1. We have an Incandescent Aura in the Golden Age frame. So for red, green, and white, you get a sorcery. It deals 3 damage to each non-token creature. We have a Extended Art Foil Tevet Cellar of Secrets, which we read earlier. And our token. Next one up. Alright, skip through. Beautiful Island. Cormella, Laguna Thief, Masked Bandits, probably the best art, and Botanical Plaza in our Golden Age frames. We have a 4 Monsters Diabolus, so for blue, black, and red, a creature vampire ward, so 1/4 with Death Touch and Haste. When it attacks, if you don't control a devil token, create a tapped and attacking 1/1 red devil creature token. When this creature dies, it does 1 damage to any target. We have an Extended Art Seize the Spotlight from the commander deck. So for 2 and a red, you get a sorcery. Each opponent chooses Fame or Fortune. For each player who chooses Fame, gain control of the creature that player controls until the end of turn. Untap those creatures and then gain haste. For each player who chose Fortune, you draw a card and create a treasure token. We have an Extended Art Cemetery Tampering. So for 2 and a black, you get an enchantment, Hideaway 5. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may mill 3 cards. Then if there are 20 or more cards in your graveyard, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. Ooh, we've got a Golden Age Lord Xander the Collector. So for 4 and blue, black, and red, get a legendary creature, Vampire Demon Noble. It's a 6/6. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent discards half the cards in their hand rounded down. When he attacks, defending player mills half their library rounded down. And then when he dies, target opponent sacrifices half of the non-land permanents they control rounded down. We have a foil Extended Art Evolving Door right there. Actually, no, that's just an normal Extended Art. And we got our token as well. Next up. Alright, let's get to the business end. another beautiful island. Crew Captain, Cabaretti Charm, normal foil Broker's Charm. We have a foil Getaway card in regular. We have the Protection Racket. So for 2 and a black in enchantment, the beginning of your upkeep, repeat the following process for each opponent in turn order. Reveal the top card of your library. That player may play life equal to that card's mana value. If they do, exile that card. Otherwise, put it into your hand. We have an Unlicensed Hearse. So for 2 mana in Artifact Vehicle, it's a Star. Tap, exile 2 target cards from a single graveyard. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards exiled with it, and you can crew for 2. We have a Riveter's Ascendancy in the Golden Age Flame. So for black, red, and green, get an enchantment. Whenever you sacrifice a creature, you may return target creature card with less mana value from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Do this only once each turn. We have a Khamir's Obscure Oculus. It's one of the commanders from the commander deck. So for 1 white, blue, and black, your legendary creature Cephalid Rogue. It's a 2/4. Whenever you attack, target attacking creature can't be blocked this turn. It connives. Then choose another attacking creature with lesser power. That creature gains double struck until end of turn. Alright, so that'd be the extent of that, and we have our token. Next one up. Alright. Got Mountain this time around. Rakish Revelers. Discipline Lewis. Oh, we've got the Masked Bandits in the Gilded Frame. We have a Widespread Thieving in full. So for 2 in a row, you get an enchantment, Hideaway 5. Whenever you cast a multicolored spell, create a treasure token, then you may pay white, blue, the full Rubric. If you do, you may play the exile card without paying its mana cost. We have a Smuggler's Share in Extended Art. This is very good to actually get my hands on more copies of this. So for 2 and a white, get an enchantment. At the beginning of each end step, draw a card for each opponent who drew 2 or more cards this turn. Then create a treasure token for each opponent who had 2 or more lands enter the battlefield under their control this turn. We have a Professional Facebreaker. So for 2 in a row, to get a creature Human Warrior. It's a 2/3 with Menace. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. Sacrifice a treasure, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Ooh, we have the sort of, not the Renaissance, I can't remember the exact framing of this is called, but for Giada, Font of Hope. So for 1 in a white, get a legendary creature Angel. It's a 2/2 with Flying and Vigilance. Each other angel you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it for each angel you already control. Tap and add white. Spend this mana to only cast an angel spell. Oh, we also have Ginny Faye, Jetmir second in the Ultimate Art, just normal foil though. So for Hybrid Ghoul, Selesnya and Hybrid Selesnya, you have a legendary creature Elf Druid, it's a 3/3. If you would create 1 or more tokens, you may instead create that many 2/2 green cat creatures or with haste, or that many 3/1 dog creature tokens with vigilance. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Next one up. That one was a bit of a struggle there, apologise. Plains this time around. Glamorous Outlaw, Mr. Pharaoh, Glamorous Outlaw. Or we have a foil Urabrask Heretic Praetor. So for 3 and 2 ready, a legendary creature Phyrexian Praetor, it's a 4/4 with haste. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You may play this card this turn. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, the next time they would draw a card this turn, instead they would exile the top card of their library. They may play it this turn. We have a extended art Riveteer's Confluence. So for 2 black, red, and green, you get a sorcery. Choose 3, you may choose the same word more than once. Draw a card and lose a life. Riveteer's Confluence deals 1 damage to each creature and planeswalker you don't control. Or you may put a land card from your hand or graveyard onto the battlefield tapped. That's actually pretty good. We have a Corpse Explosion. So for 1 black and red, you get a sorcery. As an additional cost to cast the spell, exile a creature card from your graveyard. It deals damage equal to the exiled card's power to each creature and planeswalker. Ooh, we have a Tolez Clever Conductor in the Golden Age frame. So for a hybrid Azorius blue and a hybrid Dimir, get a creature, human rogue, it's a 3/1. When it enters the battlefield, it connives. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, exile them from your graveyard. When Toulouse dies, put the cards exiled with it into their owner's hand. We have a foil extended art Unlicensed Turfs as well, which we read earlier, and our token. Next up. Nice Mountain, Botanical Plaza, Rocco, Cabaretti, Riveteer's Charm. I think that's the normal foiling there. Our rare is Park Heights Pegasus. So for red and white, get creature Pegasus. It's a 2/1 with flying and trample. Whenever Park Heights Pegasus deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. If you had 2 or more creatures that enter the battlefield that you control this turn. We have a Nezio Mugger. So for 4 and a red, you get a Viashino Rogue. It's a 3/3. When it attacks, exile the top card of each player's library. You may play those cards this turn, and you may spend mana of any color to cast those spells, and you can blitz it for 2 and a red. We have a Even the Score. So for X and triple blue, you'll get an instant. It costs triple blue less to cast. If an opponent has drawn 4 or more cards this turn, draw X cards. We have a Cabaretti Ascendancy in the Golden Age frame. So for red, green, and white, you get an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature or planeswalker card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. If you don't put that card in your hand, you may put it on the bottom of your library. We have a foil extended art Shakedown Heavy as well. This will be the last pack. Alright. Beautiful Forests. Skybridge Towers. Spires Adjudicators. Or we have a foil Legistrator. So for 1 in the blue, you get a creature, but advised to 1 throw flying. Whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, it connives. Very, very good. It's actually been seen in play up over in Legacy of all formats. We have an Aerial Extortionist. So for 3 and 2 white, you get a 4/3 creature, Bird Soldier. It's a flyer. It's flying. When into the battlefield, it deals combat damage to a player, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent. For as long as a card remains exiled, its owner may cast it. Whenever another player casts a spell from anywhere other than their hand, draw a card. We have an Undercover Operative. So for 2 and 2 blue, you get a creature Shapeshifter Rogue. You may have it enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it enters with a shield counter on it if it's your creature. We have a Evelyn the Covetous in just the normal frame, and we have a extended art for a Mysterious Limousine. So for 3 and 2 white, you get a 4/4 artifact vehicle. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 other target creature until it leaves the battlefield. If a creature is put into exile this way, return each other card exiled with Mysterious Limousine to the battlefield under its owner's control. Alright, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe. It lets people know that we exist and we're making content. You can follow me on Twitter. Links are down below. You can also find us on the Planeswalker Pantheon on Facebook. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.